So yeah, obviously on Tuesday we had that Nation League game between Spain and Germany, where Germany absolutely got destroyed, like with that 6-0 loss. I mean, it was their highest loss since 1931, and in 14 years, actually, with Joachim Löw, Germany has never actually won a game against Spain. But yeah, that was just brutal to watch.
Yeah, it was really really shocking, really, because who would have thought that scoreline, between Spain and Germany? Usually they're very tight games, but yeah, it was crazy. I think even Manuel Neuer is the first time he ever conceded 6 goals. He's
Yeah, probably.
and
I mean, he's not.
especially
Yeah, he's not
yeah
used to that.
yeah, and this season especially, or last season as well with Bayern Munich, it's been amazing. Obviously since the World Cup, Neuer, we haven't heard much about him, but in the recent years, he has been he has been one of the best keepers in the world, if not arguably the best. So it's crazy to see him conceding 6 goals in a game.
Yeah, and I think that it's just like the latest in a long now list of failures for the German team over the last like 10 years or so. Like ever since they won the World Cup in 2014, like it all went downhill from there.
Yeah, and we see that with other teams as well. Uh, for example, Spain. Spain, they had a 4-year period where they were just unbeatable. Won 2 Euros in a row, the World Cup in between them, and after that, 2012, we see Xavi, Puyol, Iniesta, all the main players start to retire, and you see the team not the same. They weren't performing properly, so they have to rebuild, and we're seeing that in this Spanish side now, how they've rebuilt the squad. They're all young players, hungry. Um, and what a game they played the other day. Can't really tell what the average age is, but it's very, very low. I think the most experienced players in that Spanish side are Ramos and De Gea,
Busquets maybe. I mean,
or Busquets. Yeah,
De Gea didn't even play. It was Unai Simon. So
it was
like,
Unai Simon, and
yeah.
Busquets didn't play neither. It was
Oh,
it was
okay.
Rodri, who's
Yeah.
very young as well. Very young player, City player, very solid. He looks like he can take that Busquets role very, very well. He got a goal as well against Germany. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
we're seeing that.
yeah, I get the point with like, I mean, yeah, obviously the teams, it's natural that teams need to go through a rebuild. But I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, they won the World Cup 2014, and then in 2016, they still kind of managed the semifinals. But then from there, I mean, I mean, the 2018 World Cup was embarrassing. I mean, how could they lose to like Mexico or South Korea? And then,
yeah. Would you say the manager might be partly to blame? Maybe it's time for a change of manager for
I mean,
Germany.
like in the German media, he gets absolutely destroyed, and like everyone, like he gets criticized from every angle. And I think like the players seem to have lost faith in him. Like, I mean, they were 3-0 down up in, like at halftime, and then the fourth goal followed pretty soon. But then they just let go, and they just didn't seem interested in playing this game anymore. So I definitely think he's to blame.
Yeah. What I'm seeing though is in that German side is a lack of figurehead. Like someone who leads the team. Um, for example, with Spain, they've got Ramos at the back. Ramos is very, very experienced defender, and again, arguably the one of the best centre backs, if not the best centre back in the world. And they all look up to him. He pushes that side. They're all youngsters. Every
Yeah,
time they
definitely.
talk, every time in interviews or anything, they always uh, manage to bring Ramos into it. And the players all look up to him like, yeah, he's our figurehead. He's the one that leads Spain at the moment. So
Yeah, definitely.
possibly,
They probably
yeah,
they're lacking that. I mean, ever since like Philip Lahm retired, they kind of lacked that leader. But I mean, he's like Löw is part to blame for that too. I mean, he kicked out like Mats Hummels, Thomas Müller, and Jerome Boateng like 2 years ago, and
yeah,
all were kind of in their prime, I guess, still. and he just wanted to be younger, and he just wanted to make the team younger. Like he forced the change, even though it wasn't necessary yet. Because
Yeah, yeah,
if you have Hummels and Boateng as the two centre backs, I mean that's a lot of experience and a lot of leadership.
yeah. That's exactly what I think Germany's lacking right now. That experience. Obviously, they have got Gundogan and Toni Kroos, but I still think they lack that one player that drives them forwards. But yeah, they were outbeaten badly by Spain the other day, and like even the Spanish side weren't even playing brilliant. Let's say they drew with Holland. They then drew with Switzerland. I know Ramos
Yeah,
missed two
that
penalties in that game,
yeah.
which was a bit bizarre. But yeah, it's not like they've been outplaying everyone really, and to come up against Germany and get that result is very crazy. So yeah,
I mean, there's so much talent there for Germany. That I mean, they have a young team, but it's so much talent. Like especially like their forwards. Like when you have Timo Werner, like Leroy Sané, and then like Serge Gnabry, Kai Havertz. Like they're all like very young, but
yeah,
all like extremely
talented.
talented and top players.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Very similar to Spain, really. We could say that they're very talented young players. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's just that it's between lacking someone that leads the team as well as the manager. I think a lot of teams after a while they need a new system, especially someone that knows how to deal with young players. So yeah,
Yeah, maybe Löw is just like kind of too old or too old-fashioned in his managerial style or thinking that he cannot connect to all the young players that he has with him. I mean, he
yeah,
also doesn't seem to know his perfect system. Like sometimes he plays with three at the back, and then he switches to like 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So he doesn't seem to know like what his best, like what his starting 11 is or his best starting 11 is.
yeah, exactly, and that's what I think that Germany's lacking. So if we look at Spain, for example, they went they changed quite a few managers since the World Cup and Euros, but I think they found the right person in Luis Enrique now, who knows how to bring young players up. He did it with Barca, and now he looks like he's doing it with Spain. And what we're seeing with this Spanish side as well, the difference now is that they're not just Barca Madrid players anymore.
That's
They're
true.
all
They're
they're
from all over the place. Yeah.
all over. You'll find one from Barca and one from Madrid now. So
Yeah.
it's it's that change as well. How does he bring these players? They don't even play in the same team. How does he bond them together to then play, as a team? And I think that's what Lowe is lacking. Is lacking how to bond and blend all these talented players that he has. Because Germany, don't get me wrong, on paper they're a solid side, like you said. They're a front forwards. It's amazing what they have. However, it's knowing how to get them players to play with each other, And yeah, I think that it's possibly time for a change of manager for Germany.
Yeah, I mean, I almost think, I mean, Germany was very lucky almost that the Euros got postponed a year because I don't think they would have had any chance if the Euros would have been this season. I
Yeah,
mean, in their group, they have like France and Portugal. So that alone is going to be like a tough task to overcome.
exactly. And we saw that. I know I keep mentioning Spain, but this is a very similar situation to Spain's. And we saw how Spain, after that, all them players that left, and they built a new team. How they went on to the next World Cup and Euros and completely embarrassed themselves. They didn't play well at all. So that I can see Germany in the same sort of situation. They need to rebuild and probably start with a new manager now. Start with someone with fresh ideas on how to uh, use these young players and talented players that Germany has.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a good thing that they got embarrassed that in that manner on Tuesday, and kind of to get that embarrassment now, so they can kind of refocus and like just go over their whole like the tactic, the squad, and maybe even the manager to just be ready and go on forward from this point to actually compete in the future, and especially in the upcoming Euros.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to sort them things now where it's not important than wait till, for example, the World Cup and embarrass yourself, you know, with sacking a manager during just before World Cup or something like that, you know. So it's time now for the Football Association, the German Football Association, to look at what they need to do, you know, because they've got great players there, and if they're not utilizing it properly, then what a waste, you know.
Yeah, I think it's the right time to kind of just get everything back on track. Otherwise, it's going to be another major disappointment on a pretty long list already since they won the World Cup in 2014.